One of the first areas an administrator of TSANet is going to want to learn how to do is to go in and edit a contact document. And just as a reminder, the contact document is a very key component to TSANet. It actually guides the other member through the process of working with your company on a TSANet case. So it's a very important thing that you want to make sure is up to date. It's got a very good process for other companies to be able to work with you. What we're going to do here is we're going to talk about how you edit that contact document. Be aware that you cannot create contact documents. That's something that TSANet can do for you. And companies may have multiple contact documents for different relationships, different geos, different departments, however the company decides to set it up. But we're just going to go through and show you how you edit a contact document. What I've done here is I've logged in as a business manager. I'm going to go ahead and click on my admin button up at the top of the screen. And that's going to go ahead and bring up my administration menu. And then if I mouse over on company, what I'll be able to do is see that I've got contact documents as an option down here. So we'll go ahead and click on that. Now in this case, I've only got one contact document, so it's only going to pull up that document. Obviously, if you had multiple documents, it would bring up all the different documents that you had there. So we'll go ahead and click on View here. Now what I want to show you about this wizard, and for those of you that have been around TSANet for a while, we've changed this up a little bit with this particular release that we're coming out with. You'll notice up at the top, well, this is just going to be the name of the document. But if I go down here past my escalation managers, which we'll talk about in a second, you'll notice that I've got different areas of the contact document that I can go ahead and modify as I wanted to, and then I can just save and approve that area. So you don't have to go through the entire document and approve it at the end. That was a change that we made based on your feedback. And then, of course, down here is the entire document that you can see. And as if I was making changes to this, you can see those in real time. Then I can go back up and I can save and approve that document. So we'll go back up to the very top of the document. I want to touch real quickly on the special escalation managers over here on the right. If those people are checked, there's two things that happen. One is they will be the ones to receive an email to remind them to go in and make sure that this document is up to date. The other thing is that these will be the people that will receive an email if another member were to give you feedback based on their experience when they collaborated with you. And that's right down at the very bottom of every document is this document feedback section. So if you're checked on the document as a special escalation manager and someone submits feedback, you'll get that feedback via an email from membership@tsanet.org. I'm going to go back up to the top of the document here, and we'll just walk through this a little bit. Again, right, this would be the name of the document. You want to be as descriptive as you can here, especially if you have multiple documents. And then let's go ahead and take a look at, you've got support hours here. And you can put this in GMT, or you could say it's 24/7. I've also got this area called Applies To, and I want to walk through that a little bit. There's some important features here. If you had multiple communities like this company does right here, you can either make one contact document apply to multiple communities, or you could create a different document for each community. And this will be especially important when you get into the custom groups where you may have multiple relationships and you want to guide that member through a different process for a different relationship, for example. On the applies to locations and applies to languages, unless you're doing something very special, and I would do it in consultation with TSANet, you want to leave these defaulted to any country as well as any language, as you don't want to filter out anything there. So I would go ahead and do that. Then here's the meat of the contact document, is here in the contact preparations requirements. And that's going to be where you would say, before you contact me, this is the information I want you to capture about that customer, typically. And that's this area right here before you call. So there's a required and an optional area here. If you want to add, for example, here is one right here. If you want to add additional requirements, you can go ahead and do that as well. Okay. And then, of course, here is the bulk of the information regarding how do you want to guide that member through working with you. And in this case, you can have multiple different ways of doing that. It can be place a call, send an email, click the chat, and then you can just, this is free text area that you can put in, and you can use links as well as bolding and all sorts of different things that you would expect in an editor. So those would be the things. You can have up to 3 different methods of how you want to guide people through this process. But essentially what you're doing here is you're telling the other member, this is how I want you to work with me. The final area here is the special escalation instructions. And as I expand on this, this is just a free text area. What you want to do with this is, at this stage in the contact document, you've already guided the engineer through what information they needed to capture first, told them how they needed to work with you, and then this would be if there's a problem and the engineer needs to get a hold of you, the process didn't work. So typically what we're looking for here is we're looking for a name of somebody and someone who's familiar with TSANet so that they know, well, this is the way it should have been handled, or for whatever reason the call didn't work out. So that's what this special escalation instructions is for, and then you can go ahead and obviously save and approve the document. So that's all there is to it. Not a whole lot of complication here, but you probably needed a little bit of guidance on how you work with contact documents. So thanks a lot for watching.